Hey, what's going on guys, Mixuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a Naya land destruction deck for standard best of one. So I can't even lie to you guys, this is a super degenerative deck, and it's basically a Celestia Blink deck, splashing red for a couple key cards, most notably Waking the Trolls. So this is a new saga from Kaldheim, 4 green on chapter 1, we get to destroy target land. So that's kind of a big deal in and of itself on a saga, blinkable land destruction, hence the whole theme of the deck. And then on chapter 2, we get to put target land card from a graveyard. Remember, that's a graveyard, so the land we just blew up can be our own, or, you know, I don't know, we don't exactly have self-mill, but against rogues, if ever we can actually resolve this thing, we can put lands from our graveyard, but most of the time we're just going to be taking the land you blew up, and we can put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. And I plan on blinking this before chapter 3 goes off most of the time, but for whenever it does, choose target opponent. If they control fewer lands than you, create a number of 4/4 green troll warrior creature tokens with trample equal to the difference. So this can eventually pop off and be a massive win con with a million 4/4 trolls, but that's not why we're in it. We're in it for the absolute torture of watching an opponent get a land blown up every single turn as we blink this saga with Yorion and a Charming Prince. So to get us there, we have this kind of Celestia Blink shell, right? Splashing red. Like I mentioned before, we run the food package as a sort of steady flow of card advantage to make sure we don't get outground, to make sure we can keep up card advantage with other Yorion decks, as well as Wicked Wolf being a really solid threat against any sort of mid-range or aggro deck. I love this card, and Goose can actually help us ramp to the trolls. On top of blinking and ramp, we have Visionary. Great blink target. We're super happy to reset this to draw a card, and can ramp us to a earlier Waking the Trolls. So that's why Visionary's here, that's why the food package is here. For Charming Prince, because this card can help start the Yorion loop, and if not, just blinking an Apparition is pretty solid. Blinking a Visionary to draw a card, scrying, gaining some life. Prince has its uses. Glass Casket, oop, didn't mean to go there. Glass Casket, because we have, we're a Yorion deck with Skyclave Apparition, so we can go through that loop and get pretty much infinite removal as long as the Prince is there too. Birth of Melides, hit our land drops, blink it, get more land. Bone Crusher Giant, stay alive, and it's a good body on the other end. It's just a really good red creature, and we're not very deep into red, but one red pip on either side of the giant is really useful. We only have one turn 2 removal piece in the form of Glass Casket, so Bone Crusher Giant helps with that, just staying alive against aggro decks on turn 2, because even though we are a Doomscar deck, we only run 2 copies of Doomscar. We do, for a control deck, run a fair amount of creatures. We have the Prince, the Geese, Bone Crusher Giants, Visionaries, Apparitions, Wolves, Yorions, and sometimes blowing up our board isn't exactly what we want to be doing, so hopefully we can control it insofar as we get there. And being able to blink out our board with Yorion and then Doomscar is also a pretty solid interaction. If you're facing just way too much aggro, you can add more of this, but I've been pretty good with 2. Obviously, Showdown of the Scalds. So playing this in a Yorion deck is awkward. It basically just gives us a hell of a lot of card selection, but it's more here as a blinkable saga, and it can eventually beef up our team because we do actually run creatures, but it's sort of an awkward card draw spell that we can blink with the Yorion to make sure we stay in the game. And I don't really want to be slamming Showdown on 4 a lot of the time. I want to be slamming it as a sort of reload piece. So it's a pretty decent card in the deck, just also because we run creatures. In creatureless control decks, chapters 2 and 3 literally do nothing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I went over everything. Obviously Yorion to blink everything in and out, and ECD just because blinking ECD is really solid, and recurring a creature, because we have no planeswalkers in the deck, is solid once it goes off as well. Mana base is pretty dirty, not gonna lie. Not having a Naya Triome doesn't exactly help, but we make it as smooth as we can with all the pathways. A couple temples here and there sprinkled in. Most important one is Temple of Plenty. We are splashing red, so the red is kind of a secondary thought, which is why we do run less mountains. And yeah, a couple more planes, more skewed to that, because we need double white on turn 3 for Apparition and Doomscar, and obviously Fabled Passage to fix your mana on 4 and upwards, or even earlier if you don't have any other lands to play. So that's it for the list, guys. Don't hit on me too much. I know it's a pretty degenerative one. But yeah, if you guys want to play this for yourselves, it will be in the description down below as always. And if you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. All right, hand is pretty good. Let's go. can't complain with this. We'll fetch white on 1, so we have double white. Mana might get a bit awkward because of pathways, which is why we pretty much always want to start on a temple. Ooh, wonder what this is. But we'll grab white regardless. Let me press it. Thank you. Okay, the game just kind of freaked out for a second there. All right, we'll put this on green, and we'll get the trail down. That's not a bad draw. At least it's land 4 negates something controllier. This is kind of where our deck shines. Actually, where the deck really shines is in sort of weird Yorian mirrors, where you're facing a lot of, but like Doom Foretold-y Esper mirrors, unless the counter magic kind. Let's get this down, I guess, and then draw off trail. I think that's fine. We don't need Yorian just yet. We can just have him chill on the companion spot. And I don't think playing tap land and holding a Bone Crusher Giant is exactly ideal. Alright, opponent's pretty clearly on either Azorius Control or Azorius Foretell. So let's get this engine online. We'll grab Prince. Better than Doomscar anyways in this sort of matchup. So where do we want to be? I can grab Prince and Scry. I don't hate it. Or I can just buy Yorian. Maybe we do that. We'll get double green online. Birth. No, I think we're good on land for a bit. And yeah, we'll buy Yorian. Opponent's not on a Yorian deck, so they could just be on hard Azorius Foretell, which can present issues for us because they have a lot of counter spells, and we are very much so a tap out sorcery deck. I don't exactly want to blink just this trail of crumbs either. Omen Keel online. That gets apparitioned. So we'll play out the apparition. I'm planning on playing the Prince afterwards to get it online. So if ever we do resolve a Yorian, then the Prince will still be on the board. I'm not going to flicker the apparition, which is a... I mean, if they had another permanent, which would have been pretty solid, we're just going to scry. Yep, easy showdown. Card advantage engine. Behold the multiverse. Okay. So opponent is probably going to be on like the owl, the 3-mana Azorius owl and that type of thing. Unless they are just control, running a 60 card pile, which I can respect. We might see ECD on 5. Take on apparition, but that's not great. I don't know, the opponent's deck seems very tap-outy, and this could be a Doomscar they foretold. It's either Doomscar, Saw It Coming, or Behold the Multiverse. Doomscar, okay. Get a 3/3. Feels bad even though they played it on 2. Nice rate. Yeah. Okay. And the Omen Keel as well. Okay. So they're going to look for lands off my deck. Whoa, that was weird. I can just flicker this trail. I don't think that's very good. We're going to start with the showdown. Actually resolve it. And see what we find. That's a lot of land. So not horrible, but not exactly what we're looking for. I'll play this mountain to hold open stomp. I don't exactly want to search for it. But yeah, it means we can hit land this turn, and it means we can play Stomp, as well as play Visionary next turn. Yep, opponent goes through the Omen Keel. The main issue is going to be navigating their counter magic. Okay, let's see how many lands they find. one land and it's of their color. Also, Apparition's really good. Feels bad that they managed to get it. Omen Kill dodges ECD, so that's a feels bad. Well, let's see what they do. We've both kept up pretty evenly on mana. Foretell something. Could be a counterspell. Might not be. See what they do. I do want to remove this Omen Keel. I don't think we Stomp Face. I don't think that's worth it. Goose is a good draw. Don't get me wrong. Let's thin our deck, play the lands that we have in exile, or the one land in this case. We'll grab some green. So what's my turn look like? Visionary Cantrip. We'll start there. Try to maximize actual value. Play Goose. Get a counter on the Visionary. No Heartless Act. Could have also gone for a Yorion to flicker the whole thing. But I think we're okay like this. Just the looming threat of Yorion is solid in and of itself. And we'll make the Visionary big. Make sure it can block the Omen Keel. And okay, there's Awakening the Trolls. So let's see if we can start blinking that. Sounds kind of like what my deck was made to do. And we're building up the mana. We technically have access to 10 mana next turn. And if we hit untap land, 11. So we'll see what happens. We lose one land, but basically off this showdown, we got a bunch of counters, a Visionary, and 2 lands. So I think all in all, pretty worth it. We didn't need the gas up, but it does help us keep a full grip and be able to compete with the opponent. Also, we don't really want that to get countered, and they were tapped out from the Doomscar, so if I remember correctly, unless I'm just tripping. Been playing a lot of games today, guys. Don't hate on me too hard. I just know that there was a window to resolve this thing. ECD. Okay. ECD my Landmark Visionary. Alright. Let's get some lands. No blocks. Actually, do I just chump with the Goose? Oh man, this is an interesting call. Okay. So I can chump with the Goose. And then we still have access to 7, 8 mana, which isn't 9 mana. Ooh, the fact that they took out that Visionary hurts. Alright, let's just hope they whiff. And they hit 2 lands. Very good. Wait, hold on, what was I thinking? Oh my god, we need 11 mana. I was counting from what I had before. And including untapped land. Alright. It's fine, we still go for this. Make Visionary bigger. Saw it coming? No. Maybe? They hit resolve once. Yes, resolves. Nice land, mate. They tap it? Yeah, we're going to clear that phase. Next, we'll move to second main to clear the mana. And okay. I technically have... Wait, how much... 1, 2, 3... Why can't I play this? Oh, because I'm in combat. That's right. No attacks? Sorry, I want to clear the second main. My bad, guys. So, now play Visionary. Let's get a land down. Yep, that's good. And I think I just stomp face to make this visionary bigger than the omen kill that is. I don't know. It's sort of weird because I want to save this food for the draw. If I had one more mana, we'd be chillin', but I'm down to trade this visionary for an omen kill, so we'll pass. Alright, tax me a little bit. And the omen kill has definitely done its job. Pretty good counter to a land destruction deck, making sure they have plenty of lands to hit. And it looks like ECD will be ticking off next turn, reanimating nothing, so we're not scared of it. So what I think opponents should do is crew the omen kill, try to get a trade, and then basically just try to force the ECD. Try to force the Cosima to the yard so they get something off the ECD trigger. But that's just me. And that's what they're going for. So I'll give them the land, that's fine. Kind of goes counterintuitively to what we're working with, but we get to ramp and we're going to get some trolls, which they have to respect. So we're going to take the 3 and we're going to let them hold. And as this trigger hits, right, we're going to do this. Let's not be stupid. We want this ECD. Autopay. Grab the ECD. Okay. Because I do want that ECD. And we give them so many lands. Alright. So land destruction goal isn't going as planned, but there's still going to be a fair difference in between the sizes of our mana bases. Olren's Epiphany. Oh, it's bad. At least, on the bright side, ECD will tick up, get nothing, and on my turn, we won't be taxed anymore. So that's actually not the end of the world. Looks like we're both on some pretty degenerative shit. Like, I'm on land destruction, my opponent's on taking extra turns. Both courtesy of Kaldheim. And now I'll take the block. Now I will block the omen kill because there's no ECD. Ticking up. Let's go. If they have another one, so be it. It feels bad, but it is what it is. We can ECD their ECD, and they know we have it, so. Opponents really trying to be the beatdown too. They've been pretty aggro this game, whereas I've been very passive. I've been very accruing card advantage-y. But they will get free lands from their omen kill, so they can hit up to land drop 11. Alright, what you got, Jack Black? Oh, pardon me, Dr. Jack Black. Trust me, I understand thinking about your control deck decisions. Alright, Nico. Nico gets ECD'd, and opponent's leaving open mana. So, okay, they're worried about my goose. Fair. And they've taken me off the mana I need to play Yorion and blink the Yorion. So, how many lands do I have in my deck? How many basics, that is? Yeah, I have enough. Alright. We'll grab Fabled Passage. Nice. Oh, that's 11 mana. If we had one, if the goose is alive, we'd have all the mana we needed. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's not be stupid. Can stomp Nico. That might be just cleaner in every way. We'll fetch first. Plenty of options this turn. And I mean plenty of options. Let's get some more white. I feel like our hand is very white focused. So Yorion blinked this whole mess. Blow up another land. The Faceless Haven seems like a good target. And then stomp Nico. Okay. I'm game. Also put a blocker in front of these things. We haven't seen counter magic yet. And the opponent pulls up with their counter magic. Okay. So not great. We'll play this land. No. Foretell this. And stomp Nico. Okay. So we're hoping no Olrin's Epiphany because we're dead to an extra turn, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're dead to an extra turn. We're dead to an Olrin's Epiphany. But I think it is what it is. Like, we can't exactly play around everything. Alright, they played their land. And how much is it to hardcast an Epiphany? I think 7 mana? Yep. They animate Faceless Haven. Oh my god, I'm dead to the Haven. Oh, we're dead. We're to 1. We're to 1. Okay, I can't do quick math, boys. My math is clearly lacking, and I'm clearly an imbecile. So we're alive. Oh no, 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 don't foretell Olrin's Epiphany. Alright, we get 1 troll. Only the 1 troll warrior. And we probably have to Doomscar this board anyways. Jeez, it's so bad. So what's the plan? What is the plan? Doomscar the board, play Bone Crusher Giant, Landmore Visionary? I think so. Okay. Visionary will come down. Draws a card. Wicked Wolf. So, Wolf or Bone Crusher Giant. I mean, Wolf is more mana efficient, but it can also fight in the future. I think we just go for the Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent only has white mana available. Alright, so we're dead to an Olrin's Epiphany, but can't do anything about that. Game state has kind of cleared up so that we have our leftovers. I mean, opponent has a pretty intimidating grip. I mean, mine isn't horrible. Mine's better against creatures. Doomscar and Faceless Haven will do it. Oh man, guys. It's been a rough day trying to get this deck to work. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. Alright. GG's. Alright. Yeah, hand seems fine against Yorion. So, start on Goose? Or do we start on tapped land? We're not exactly ramping to anything. It's Yorion. I think we're just going to take our time, start on tap land. Trail. Alright, Goose and Trail. So a little punished for not starting on the Goose, but I think it's okay. We'll hide the Trail for a minute and play other tap land. I think we're good on that. And these temples, especially in the beginning, are very helpful. Okay, nice. Opponent on double black so far. Trail can resolve. Good, 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 good. Off to a solid start. We're going to start drawing some cards off Goose. Nightmare. Feels bad. Let's check to see what we find. Autopay. We'll grab the Birth. It might get stolen by the Nightmare next turn, but we'll see. So please no expensive Saga. Alright, good. Can play Birth and then play Empty Casket to essentially make sure the opponent gets no nightmare value. Or we can resolve a Wicked Wolf. Let's play this, make sure we hit our land drop. And I'm honestly game for Empty Casket. I don't hate not giving my opponent any value off this nightmare. And I do want to play that Birth because if I don't play it, they're going to take that for sure. Okay, so opponent has a stacked up hand. Hopefully it's not filled with counter magic. That would be very unfortunate. And they buy Yorion. Alright, miss a land so that our land destruction plan is just chef's kiss. Alright. Or 0-4 wall. Let's start with the Visionary. Get a bit more ramp, and I guess we'll pass. Okay, they exile my yard. And I mean, the opponent's committed absolutely nothing to the board, whereas we have a fair amount of like permanence. So I don't know. We'll see what they're on. They are a Yorion deck. Maybe they're something more like the classic Yorion decks. Or I say classic, the Dimir control decks from last season. Muckwater Pathway. We'll see what it is. Murderous Rider for the Visionary. I can stomp my own Visionary to deny them the Rider. Is that even good? I don't think so. I'm happy if they tap out and play 3 mana for the Murderous Rider. Like, that's fine with me. Alright, so Prince plus Apparition can be a combo. We have like 4 white sources, so we're going to put this on red. And drawing a card off trail is 3 mana, so we're going to buy Yorion and pass turn. And settle in for the long game. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. We don't want to miss land, like, at all. The only thing I'd take... I mean, there's a couple things I'd take over land off this trail search. And the trolls is one of them. Alright, so they play Murderous Rider. That's fine. Let's draw. Passage. Plenty of land, I guess. Okay. So what's the plan? I can blink, I can play Yorion, reset all of this. We'll start here, since the opponent knows about it. Got a bit more green. I can also just go for a Wicked Wolf. And the options are weird, right? I have a lot of stuff to interact with my opponent's board. Maybe we start a Yorion loop. We go Prince plus Yorion, get the loop going. I don't hate it. Scry 2. Trail, nice. Go for Yorion. Alright, and the loop has begun. If they can interact with Yorion, loop's over. But that tends to be how these Yorion loops go. And the Empty Casket pays off in taking their Murderous Rider. So, okay. Pretty happy with the line I took. Double Casket means that we can start blinking that every turn and getting a bunch of value. And as long as they can't interact with my Yorion, Shadow's Verdict. Okay, well, they interact with the Prince, that's the other thing, but I'd much rather them interact with the Prince than the Yorion. Okay. And let's get aggressive. Unless I just want to draw some more cards. Hold on. Put this on white. How much is this going to cost me to draw? It's going to cost me 4 mana to draw everything I want. So, play it out. Resolves. So we want to eat. You want to be able to eat food. I can eat food for free with the wolf. And then draw 2. So nice. Yeah, we'll get this down. Pass. And this trail will come back. Cool. Extinction event is not a solution to this board because we have odd and even. And the food and the Wicked Wolf basically being a free food outlet's pretty solid. Extinction event. Regardless of what they go for, I want to do this now. I want the free outlet. Ooh, more trail or more Yorion? I guess it really depends what they name, right? What benefits me more in the long run? I'm going for the Yorion. It can blink all these trails, make even more. And Showdown. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And now they're pretty incentivized to go with even. Yeah, because I have another Yorion. Okay. Let's start with attacking. Opponent has double black, and we know they play Murderous Rider. They might just snap that off. Okay. Play Showdown. Don't play a land in case we reveal a land from the Showdown. Want to maximize the value, and we only reveal lands from the Showdown. Very good. So this will cost me 4 mana to eat and do the whole thing. So we'll just take the Scry. Can't say no to a prince. And we'll pass. Okay, so we're doing it. Heartless Act. Sure. Opponent could have prevented 4 damage there, but let's not fault them too much for it. Maybe they wanted to bluff counter magic. Okay, Hagra Mauling, and they just slammed their own Yorion. Okay. I guess they're worried about their life total, which I get it. Like, I don't blame you. Okay. So we'll auto pay. A pretty easy choice. Auto pay again. Pretty easy choice once again. All right. Now, and the opponent scoops. They see the waking of the trolls. They see the Yorion. They see the prince. They want nothing to do with it. Guys, they didn't have counter magic last turn, and they played Yorion. So right here we have 10 mana, almost 11. So we get the waking of the trolls down, or we can start another Yorion loop, right? So we either start blowing up their lands from now, and then next turn try to start looping it, or we just I think I either want to play Yorion this turn, but I'm pretty sure I want to get the. I mean, honestly, maybe we just get the loop started and try to resolve the waking next turn. I think that's it. I think we play land from this pile. Go for Prince, Scry, whatever, play Yorion, blink everything out, reset the Scalds, and then next turn, when we have the loop set, we play the Waking of the Trolls and just dominate this game. Alright guys, and we are back. So in all honesty, this was a tough video to make. I feel like in theory the deck should perform a lot better than it actually does, but maybe that's because I faced so many, and when I say so many, I mean so many decks who just ran a bajillion counter spells. So if you're expecting to face Is It Tempo or Rogues, don't play this. I'm being completely real with you guys. Just drop the deck, you will not win. But if you are planning on facing a bunch of slower, grindy, or mid-rangey like Abzan or even Esper, because Esper doesn't run that many counterspells, or if any at all, Yorion piles, this is the deck for you, because this deck can beast on those decks while still standing a chance against aggro, where your Waking of the Trolls plan isn't great, which is why we only have 2 of them, Waking the Trolls. But yeah, in any type of counter magic format, or a format where you're going to face a lot of rogues and a lot of Izzet tempo, this is not the deck. And I've had a really hard time recording this video. And I show one of the games where we face someone with counter magic, and it just doesn't go well. We have to play around it, and it's kind of reflective of all the games I've played with counter magic, but it's a lot less heartbreaking because we at least put up a pretty good fight. So don't craft this deck. I'm just putting it out there. A lot of these cards are old, and you might have Showdown of the Skalds. So if you've managed to pull any Waking of the Trolls, try it out at your leisure. It's a really fun deck. Just play it in unranked. So that's it for me, guys. Again, deck list will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.